G'day punters, welcome to the mailbag previewing a Group 2 race from Moonee Valley tonight, Friday night at the Valley. Hopefully TV's there, Colin. Not sure if he is, but he's the great man and I love him. And then we're going to look at Caulfield. We've got some Blue Diamond lead-up races. What are they called exactly, Nicholas?
They're called preludes, and then we have the previews in 2 weeks, I think, and then 2 weeks of the Diamond. So it's really starting to hot up here in Victoria.
Big time. We've got some very talented horses first up tonight at Moonee Valley, and we've got some really interesting horses for the preludes. Nick's done the trials for all of them. He's my trial man, and he should be yours. If you want to get involved, head to themailbag.com.au. This preview is powered by puntingform.com.au. Each of us use Punting Form's sectional pro form subscription. You should probably try it if you haven't already, and it's powered by betfair.com.au and hydrated by Goat Lager. It's 9 o'clock in the morning, so we're not drinking, but
it's a one-off for me, I think.
Yeah, it's Peter's first
I'll be back
first
next
time
week.
half sober. So we'll kick off with race 7 at Moonee Valley. What's the rail doing, Nicholas?
Rails in the true.
Rail in the True Valley. We've had a little bit of rain, a good amount of rain this week. I think the track will race outstanding, be really, really fair. One of the first times in recent times in Victoria anywhere. I don't think there'll be a massive pattern. I think if you like a horse, you can back it. Here's the synthetic hold, Peter, as it rolls up on your screen, and now we'll have the speed map for this race. Nick, some really interesting horses here. Haydock, Scales of Justice, Manuel, Be Good to Your Mother, Ring-a-Ding-Ding, and Microphone, all basically first up.
All Group 1 winners as well. So that makes things very interesting. Scales of Justice hasn't had the jump yet, neither's Manuel, so interested to see...
Well, let's
publicly. Well,
Manuel did a track gallop at Moonee Valley on Monday. I sent you that.
Yep. So it'll be interesting to see how forward they are from the yard. Leading in off their work, Haydock and Be Good to Your Mother, they went like Group 1 horses leading in. I think Haydock probably has the most intent here, given he won the Winterbottom not that long ago, compared to a few of the others who've been off the scene for a while and didn't race that deep into the spring. So I imagine he'd be the most forward. And a lot of them in the market's kind of suggesting that. I think he'll probably be leading in this field.
See Ashlaw come across.
I see a bit of speed, but I don't know if they'll be able to hold him out. I think they'll show a lot of intent from barrier number 1 here, and he does fly at Moonee Valley. So I think $2.50, if you found him from the yard on top, and he's a pretty imposing sort of animal, if you said he was right there ready to go and Scales of Justice, Be Good to Your Mother might need to run, I'd be pretty keen to back him.
Pete, something we've talked about before, the good horses that come, like the Victorian horses that go and take the WA prize money, often can come back and run good races fresh. It happens repeatedly.
Yeah, we've seen two
and
of the
this is
last.
another example, like another setup where even if you think Scales of Justice or Be Good to Your Mother or Microphone might be a little bit sharper or have more ability, Haydock's going to have that fitness edge on the better horses here.
100%. We've seen two of the last 4 winners come through either the Kevin Heffernan or the Winterbottom, so that's Thronen or Malaguera. Haydock's running both. And he didn't look like completely at his top when I saw him over in Perth either. He's still obviously bulked up, he's still a beast. But
which is actually a fascinating little insight from the mailbag and mailbag punters.
Completely
Pete's
destroyed that
Pete's
field.
seen him when he won over there in Perth, and he'll be there on Friday night. So you'll have the most relevant read on the horse. It's a nice animal, like it walks properly.
Yeah.
I thought outside the obvious here, Embrace Me clocked the second fastest last 6.4 and the 5th fastest last 200 metres of the day last start. Ollie on. It's a Group 1 race, a Group 2 race, so there'll be good speed. I think you can sit off him here, and I don't know if he can win, but I reckon he's going to run a really big race. He's got race fitness on his side, this horse. He'll get profiles to run a big race in a good race. It's been set up really well by an astute stable in Danny O'Brien. I'm tipping Embrace Me each way is my sort of suggestion, and I have actually bet.
One horse I will make mention of is Ring-a-Ding-Ding. New stable now for the Freeman camp. Looks like their second preparation with him. Wouldn't be surprised if he got back to somewhere near his best form this preparation. Probably not this run, but watch him sort of where he heads to in his next few runs.
He was extremely forward and very, very toey at Sandown, where he raced against Haydock. And I think that nice filly mare might have been Teleplay, beat him.
Yep.
I think I backed Ring-a-Ding-Ding that day. It was wound right up. 70 days last run's a bit of a query, but it's going to be. I think it's definitely going to be fit enough. If you like it, it'll there or thereabouts.
Yeah, I'll be playing those two. Keen to launch Haydock and at least chop, bring a ding ding, maybe even have it for a result as well if it parades forward.
Okay, let's head to Caulfield. Punters, race 3, the Betfair Blue Diamond Preview, Colts and Geldings over 1,000 metres. There's the synthetic hold that Pistol has kindly made for you all at home. The speed map will follow. Tricky speed map here. This will be Nick's speed map because you're the trial man. Now let's go through them quickly, Nick. We've got Fixated for Hayes and Regan Bayless. First ever start, how to trial.
Yeah, it went pretty good. I couldn't be knocking it off its jump outs, that was for sure. Showed some speed in the one I saw. It'll definitely be up there on speed. Southern's probably another horse that's going to definitely influence the speed map, even Glenfiddich with the blinkers going on. I think there's maybe more speed in the fillies race than there is this one. I doubt Hansetic will be going too far back from barrier 12. I think he'll be forward of sort of midfield, but he does look the sort of most progressive out of this lot. He's a very...
Which is that? Fixated.
Hansetic. Who's our favourite at $2.60. My concern with taking the price now would be that they're a massive grand final camp and the grand final's not for 4 weeks. So
it's drawn 12.
How much sort of intent they're going to show here first up and...
I'd say not much from 12.
All those kind of things. I think he's the best horse in this race and he could just come out and show that and be too good for this field, but at $2.60, taking that price now before you see him in the mounting yard, all those kind of things, I don't think I could be playing. Tanker
has that good Sydney form, Dame Giselle, which you can tie back to Salsaville,
yes,
which is the Golden Slipper A1 form at the moment.
Tanker has had a jump out this prep, but that was covered in thick smoke haze, so they got taken down apparently. So no guide to how he's come back this
preparation. Why'd they take them down?
I don't know.
Because it's bad look for racing?
Potentially, but...
Because they probably abandoned racing that day, but let the 2-year-olds jump out in the morning.
Yeah, I'm not sure what day it was, but from all reports I've heard, the horse has come back very well from the stable, so he will be one that if he parades, he paraded a bit on toe at Caulfield from memory, so I think he can definitely improve.
Mr. Have a Chat, John Price, Ollie. Interesting little combo that. How'd it jump out?
It is, I think $17 is probably unders of how it jumped out.
Okay, Mysterious Art.
Couldn't back it.
Griffiths, Yendel, don't like the jump out?
No. I think if...
Raphael?
It looks a bit of a 2-horse race for mine. Hansetic and Tanker, I think one of them will probably win. Fixated was probably the best of the day.
What about Southern? Timmy Hughes and D Lane combined?
My question mark with Southern would be all of his jump outs and trials have been at Pakenham, where he's trained, and Pakenham horses do seem to relish that track, and so him coming away from there, I'd have concerns on how he's going to handle his debut, but he will be definitely on speed and give us a sight.
Pistol, have you got anything to add?
I've got nothing, but I'll be in the yard, so
yeah.
I think we've got a really good entry 2-year-olds typically, so looking forward to both of races 3 and 4.
Okay, race 4 punters, 1,000 metres. This is the Betfair Blue Diamond preview. It's a Group 3 set weights with penalties 2-year-old fillies version. The unraced horses here, we've got Aquagirl for Stokes and Ben Thompson. Did you love, like or hate the trial?
Yeah, I thought it was decent. At $41, she is double accepted, so I don't know which way they're going to go with her. She's in at Moonee Valley as well, but she could be, finishing in the top 5 for mine. This favourite Fresh has jumped out since its last run at Geelong.
Where it beat Personal, who came out and won pretty stylishly, but very, very poorly to the clock at Flemington last Saturday. Interesting.
She's in the same boat as Hansetic, drawn wide. Another very professional sort of filly. From what I've seen of her at the jump outs and on race day, she doesn't look that big for a fast net rock filly, so she may just be a real 2-year-old. She's very professional and probably deserves to have the favouritism here.
French Fields, McAvoy Curry, do you love it?
This is the horse with the X factor. If this horse didn't draw a barrier at 17, I'd be very keen to back it. Saw her in a jump out 2 weeks ago, probably 3 or 4 weeks ago now, sorry, punters, and didn't have a name, and she missed the start by about 4 lengths, flew home, and I thought, gee, what's this for? So I'm going to look at it in some Blue Diamond markets, and it was already $21. So that was no help to us at all. That's just testament to how gone the futures are. But like I said, if she didn't draw 17, she does possess some X factor in this field, and definitely.
In the jump outs, did she show a little bit of early toe, suggesting she could use 17 to her advantage?
The second one, she showed a lot more speed and learnt from her mistakes in the first. So
That's good to know.
I think she'll be maybe forward to midfield here.
Miss Bank Place, Griffiths, Bo Mertens. Love, hate.
I think she was the better of the two Griffiths runners. The first one, she was
The other is Sweet as Scandy, ridden by Brett Pebble.
very quiet, and then her last jump out I couldn't knock. So
Sweet.
I think this is a fairly deep sort of race, but Fresh. She looks the most professional this lot, but French Fields has a lot of X factor and could.
Willow rides drone strike for John McCardle.
I think that might have been because he couldn't get another ride in the race, to be honest.
Okay, good call. Gutsy. Miss Bassetti, another Snowden filly. Ben Thompson rides.
Yeah, okay at best.
Okay at best. Beautiful. I've got nothing to add. I was wait and see in parade. Can't wait. This is our area.
Yep.
I thought that Fresh is pretty obvious, but I love what Nick's just said about the McAvoy 2-year-old. I expect it cost upwards of 500k probably. Be a really nice tie-up, and we'll probably find it. Race 5 punters, 400 metres. 3-year-olds. There's the market, the synth hold, and the map will follow. Nick, thoughts here? I thought it was a really interesting race.
Yeah, when I first did it, I found Wilmot Pass, but I don't think I gave enough credit to this horse down the bottom of the late Shush. I think they're probably the two main horses as the market's probably representing. Wilmot Pass, the end of 1400, I think will suit him. Zara, good draw. Shush has maybe some traffic issues from barrier number 1. The improver will be Grand Admiral, who gets Craig Williams aboard off a solid debut win. Wasn't amazing to the clock, but he did SP very hard in the market. It was off the map. He gets the blinkers on, and Willow goes on for a good camp. They wouldn't be running him in Melbourne if they didn't think he was up to it. So he'll be maybe one to watch, but Wilmot Pass and Shush look the main two.
I thought the map sort of sets up interestingly here. Like, She's a Witness should get every possible from barrier 9 or to roll across and lead. Wedgetail has an SP over Wilmot Pass at its last start at Sandown, where Wilmot Pass got every possible. Beautiful little run, snuck runs up the inside, put away nicely. But Wedgetail, I think, is just as likely as Wilmot Pass. Have they scratched? If they don't scratch, no change, but I think they will. It profiles to run a really nice race. I think it will run tonight at Moonee Valley and go really well. I loved what it did in that race. Obi hit the line good enough to be competitive here. Drawn 7, I think he can get an okay run. I'm against Shush at the price. Drawn 1, I think it's going to find trouble. I think Rock Profit and Rutherford are two horses here. Rock Profit, painfully, we were on at 23s or something. It started $7 in that race, missed the start.
Very well
Basically didn't go around. But the market said this horse is right up to him. Right up to him. So if you ignore the last run, take the SP of $7, it's right in this race. Chris Simons rides from 6. You're going to need it's going to be scary at stages, but you're getting a big price again to find out. And Rutherford's a horse that just keeps finding the line. If Caulfield races as we hope, and I expect it to be pretty fair on Saturday, I think you can start to look at horses that are going to run on, and horses like Rock Profit and Rutherford are two that appeal to me here.
I'm more than keen to be backing Wedgetail here. I think you're getting a better price because of the gate. Was really happy with what it did there last start. SP is very strong. It's the one I'll be looking to find and smack heavily.
Yep, fair. Race number 6, punters, is a over the mile. It's a benchmark 90. There's the market, the synth hold. The speed map will follow. This is a really, really sort of tricky race to find an angle. There's a lot of exposed form. There's map horses here. And there's horses that are sort of being put in their hoof on the till a little bit, Nick. What do you think?
There is. I couldn't back Shawnee. She just
had every possible, didn't it, last start?
Yeah, I think she's just turning into a bit of a number myself, but can definitely see a horse like Street Chic
who put the writing on the wall at Caulfield a couple
and
back, and then just snuck off and won somewhere out wide.
Yep.
At like over $3, and I missed it. And I saw that last night when I was doing the form, and I'm sick about it.
He found a very slowly run race at Caulfield 2 starts ago where he just was in possible position to win, and he nearly did. And then he went to Camperdown, or Terrain, I should say, in the Camperdown Cup, and it was a very fast run race to the 600 metres, and I think that brought out the best in him. On the 6-day backup now, Billy goes back aboard, who knows this horse very well. He did have a tendency early in his career to get beat in situations where he should have won, but I think he's starting to turn the corner. And the way this race sets up for him, I think Call It A Day will set a good tempo out in front. And then there's a few horses like Casio, Amadeus who have question marks on the mile. Mount Tabora really improved last start.
But at SP $15 was
his
completely
form prior was class.
blessed in run and won well. We were on. It was a great win. But at SP $15, it now steps up in grade and it's favourite. Please.
I think Street Sheep will start shorter than $4.80, and I'm happy to back him here.
I think that's a fair call. I think what you get when you have Jess Eaton riding in a race is you're going to get a really good, honest tempo. I think that favours Call It A Day. She's an outstanding rider of leaders and she'll lead with ease here. I think that sets up nicely for this to be a betting race. If you like a horse like Nick does with Street Chic, you're going to get a fairly run race.
Yep.
It's hard to knock Amadeus and Casio. They're the two that I think are going to get the perfect runs, and one of those two will probably look like the winner. Call It A Day might just kick on and win, depending how the track plays. But I agree, Street Chic sort of looks the obvious. I think you're right about the price, but I just have a hard time getting involved at that price when I know this horse is going to be last. And although I think it's going to be run to suit, if it's not, he won't change his mind. He'll just still ride it the same way.
Yeah, which is a concern.
It's a little concern, but I agree with what you're saying at the same time.
Yeah, it's not really a race I'm super keen to be jumping into. I thought Casio at the price is probably marginal. That's probably the way I was leaning, but yeah, at this stage I'll be probably sitting that one out.
Well, there was there was $10 around Casio Wednesday afternoon when the rest of us were trying to bet at Sandown.
Snipers.
And it's gone. So $10 was a good price. Race 7, punters, is a benchmark 84, 1100 metres. Our Campana is currently favourite. There's the stint hold, and we'll have a speed map to follow. Nick, what do you reckon?
Yeah, interesting little race. A few of these are first up. I think Layla Pino might be back off what I've seen from her this prep. Last prep, spring, she had a bit of a deep autumn campaign where she went up to Sydney and she raced well. She ran third in the Champagne Stakes from memory. She just didn't come up in the spring, so Damien Oliver goes aboard here. He's ridden her in one of her jump outs. I think she might be back to somewhere near her best, and at $7 here, I thought she was definitely worthy of backing. And if you found her from the mounting yard, with you boys running your eyes over the horses here, giving a few of them a first up and some usual suspects like our Campana, who was blessed last start, I think she is a fresh horse on the scene that could definitely run a big race.
I've already backed her, haven't
Yep.
Oh, that's good.
I? Haven't
Lady Lupino.
I? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Sorry. Well, you were confusing me. I thought I'd sent it. Yeah, I've backed Lady Lupino. I've seen Nick's jump out report, and that was all I needed to see. I think the horse will get every possible from 5. Ollie on, tick, tick, tick. I think it's on the up. I love the way this sets up. 1100 metres on pace. It can get further. It's not going to stop here. I think it's a beautiful setup. I originally wanted to find Forbid Me Not, who I thought was slaughtered last start. Been waiting for it to find a suitable race. As that's dragged on with the bushfires and the abandonments, the form out of the race is not as good as I thought it was going to be. I still think it can win. Oh So Hazy, I think, is big odds here. I think if you're betting into the race, you probably want to build a position on it. It's going to get every possible from that gate. News Girl's hard to knock. Shakora, if it gets out to $15, $16, which I think it will, I'll start to think about betting. And then if they overdo it in run, you must have a third party up ready to go. And a horse like Propel might just explode.
Propel gets Willow back on.
Back to Caulfield.
Which could be a big key.
Back to Caulfield, I think it's it could be the one. And Golden Halo, how do you think it jumped out?
Well, I think she's forward enough to win. Just a question mark on how tricky her map is from barrier number 3 and how much intent they're going to show first up.
Peter?
Yeah, I was sort of with you in terms of Lady Lupino. It's probably one of the only Danny O'Brien horses that was below par in the spring. And outside of that, the stable was absolutely flying. So just, we've already backed it. Outside of that, I'll probably just be looking to chop on a couple, but that's obviously the way that you're playing it.
So it's a big race for the team.
Yep.
Race 7. Okay, punters, our best value and lays. My best is race 7 at Caulfield, Lady Lupino. My value is in the Group 2 race tonight at Moonee Valley, Embrace Me for D. Oliver. And my lays, in Caulfield race 6, I'm going to lay Mount Tambora. I'm going to put up about 450, 460. Hopefully get some match there, and I'm going to lay number 6 Shawnee. I'll put up sort of $5, $4.80 it.
I'll go. Best for me, I'm going to make it at Caulfield in the last. I think Saloon de Cheval, the Perth horse that Pete would have a very good handle on. I think he can run a big race for us there at around $7. Best value, I do think, comes up in the fillies prelude. She's drawn wide, but she looks talented. French Fields. I think she's probably the best value at the current prices on the weekend. And then my lay, I'm with you. I'll probably lay Shawnee at around that $4 mark, hopefully.
Come and take us on. He'll be putting up a price on Betfair. So I've laid 5 horses in the last week. 3 of them have won. So get involved. Come and take the money.
Hashtag flying.
Airborne.
Take those prices early as well.
They've all drifted dramatically,
exactly,
but 3 of them are still something won.
That's what a lay is, isn't it? Trying to
Race 8 at Sandown was the epitome of why this game can just torture you, and I've got grey hairs because of it. I took $7 plus Rainbow Thief, which started at $3.50. I tried to lay Bands on Fire at $3.20. It started at $4.50 or $4.80, and fucking gapped them. Sorry for swearing.
The great game.
Yep. I'm going to jump back west for my best.
Good.
Excellent Dream, race 4. It's coming out of huge best of the day figure there at Bunbury for Lindsay Smith. Noski on board. Indian Pacific in the same race is a very smart animal. It's unbeaten so far in trials and races. But I think Excellent Dream's just as talented.
So we're just back in Excellent Dreams?
Yeah, I'm going to back Excellent Dream at the price, and I'll probably play a few Quinellas as well with Indian Pacific. Value, I don't often say this, I think Pike's Ride in the first is actually value at around $6. It has SP over quite a few of these runners at Pinjarra. Goes Harry Grace to Pike. I think it'll be much better suited in terms of how the track's going to play there in race 1 at Ascot over the 1,000. And yeah, I'm expecting that horse to improve sharply. And then my lay, look, it is just a bit of a nonny, I must say. Lacevinsky, look, love the horse, but I've backed it too many times and it's just burnt me time and time again. So race 3, Lacevinsky,
so we should probably have a little bit on Levinsky.
That's the hard thing with lane horses. Sometimes you just get absolutely sick of them and you're like, oh, I'll lay this today, and they come out and win. So
I can't have it at $2.50 at the moment.
All right, punters, that's been us. You've got Mounting Mail from Moonee Valley tonight. Caulfield on Saturday. Also Sandown on Monday. Head to the mailbag.com.au to get involved. We've got Scurry on course this weekend.
Yep, Randwick.
At Randwick. We've got Nick's trial product. If you're not getting the trial product and you're interested in it, now is the time to get it with all these good horses returning and all the 2-year-olds. Thank you and have a good weekend. Bye-bye.